the world you never see. Every day, you wake up, you check the time, you go to work, you buy food, you follow rules, and almost none of it feels strange. But what if I told you that your daily life is guided by systems you almost never notice? Not governments, not laws written on paper, but invisible systems, quietly shaping how you move, work, buy, wait, and think. They don't announce themselves. They don't ask for permission. Yet without them, modern life would collapse in days. Today, we'll explore 10 invisible systems that control modern life. Systems so deeply embedded in society that most people never stop to ask where they came from or who designed them. Once you see them, you won't unsee them. System 1. Time zones. Time feels natural, but it's not. For most of human history, every city lived by its own local time. Noon was simply when the sun was highest in the sky. That worked until trains appeared. Railways needed synchronized schedules. So time zones were invented in the 19th century to prevent chaos. Today, global trade, aviation, stock markets, and digital communication depend on this invisible agreement. Time zones don't exist in nature. They exist to make civilization function. System 2. The 9-to-5 workday. The modern workday feels normal. It isn't. Before factories, people worked according to daylight, seasons, and tasks, not hours. The 9-to-5 schedule emerged during the Industrial Revolution, driven by factory efficiency, not human biology. This system still shapes how we sleep, commute, socialize, measure productivity. Even remote work often copies this structure. The clock doesn't just tell time. It controls behavior. System 3. Money as an abstract system. Money used to represent real objects, grain, metal, labor. Today, most money doesn't physically exist. It's numbers in databases, digits moving between accounts. Yet this invisible system decides who eats, who travels, who builds, who survives. Money works only because everyone agrees to believe in it. The moment trust disappears, the system collapses. System 4. Supply chains. When you buy food, you rarely think about how it arrived. But modern life depends on vast, invisible supply chains spanning continents. Thousands of people, hundreds of steps, perfect timing. If even one link breaks, ships stop, factories close, shelves empty. Supply chains aren't just logistics. They are the bloodstream of civilization, and most of us only notice them when they fail. System 5. Standardization. Why does everything fit together? Screws, plugs, containers, paper sizes. Because the world runs on standards. These systems decide how big things are, how fast they move, how machines communicate. Without standardization, nothing scales. You don't see these rules, but they quietly allow the modern world to exist. System 6. Traffic systems. Traffic lights, road signs, lanes, speed limits. They feel obvious, but they are carefully designed behavioral systems. Colors were chosen for visibility. Rules were created to predict human reactions. Traffic systems don't eliminate chaos, they manage it. And every day, Billions of people obey them without ever meeting the people who designed them. System 7. Digital algorithms. You scroll, you watch, you click, and algorithms decide what you see next. They don't tell you what to think. They decide what you notice. News, entertainment, opinions. These invisible systems shape culture, attention, and even beliefs, quietly, continuously, and at scale. For the first time in history, human attention itself is being systematized. System 8. Legal defaults. Most people never read the fine print, but defaults decide everything. Privacy settings, subscription renewals, insurance coverage, consent. These systems guide behavior not by force, but by convenience. What you don't change often controls you the most. System 9. Education systems. School doesn't just teach facts. It teaches when to sit, when to speak, how to measure success, what counts as intelligence. These invisible rules shape how societies think, innovate, and obey. Education systems don't just produce workers. They produce worldviews. System 10. Trust infrastructure. Modern life depends on strangers. You trust food safety systems, medical certifications, engineering standards, digital security. You don't test these systems yourself. You trust that someone else already has. Without this invisible web of trust, society freezes. Trust isn't emotional. It's structural. Why these systems matter? None of these systems are evil, but none are neutral either. They were designed, often long ago, for a world that no longer exists. Yet they still shape freedom, opportunity, inequality, behavior. Understanding them doesn't make you powerless. It gives you awareness. The most powerful forces in modern life don't shout. They whisper. They don't look like control. They look like normality. And that's what makes them powerful. Once you understand the invisible systems around you, you don't escape society. You navigate it better. If this video made you see everyday life differently, you'll love what's coming next. The Invent IQ explores the hidden systems, ideas, and inventions that shape our world, often without us noticing. Subscribe to the Invent IQ. New videos regularly, and learn how the modern world really works.